Welcome back. This segment is sponsored by the law offices of David L. Carrier. Well, when it comes to giving and receiving an inheritance, people often have a lot of questions about how it all works. Joining us now is our elder law and estate planning expert, David Carrier. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate being here.
Well, all throughout this sort of series, we've kind of been answering different questions that people are asking you.
Right.
And so today's question is, how long are trusts or estate inheritances available to the heirs? And you think that you would just get that right away, but is that not always the case?
Well,
or do you not know about them?
What if you lose the heirs? What if you can't find them? It's not like a lottery ticket. You know, if you win the lottery, you have so much time to
right there.
show up.
Yeah,
but you have to show up at the office. You got
Sure.
6 months or whatever it is. Very different with an inheritance. It's the job of the personal representative of the trustee to find you.
Ah, okay.
You see? So if they haven't found you, I mean, they have to keep looking.
Right,
now,
right.
And they have to use due diligence, and they really have to kind of search through things. I've seen some cases, you know, probate estates open 10 years in the search for the heirs. There's some companies out there who do that, but in general, it's not on the heirs to go to the trust or whatever.
Because this could be money that you didn't even know was left for you in some cases.
And that happens a lot. And and that's why you know, the state of Michigan has the unclaimed property fund, and usually that's life insurance or stocks and bonds that people lost track of. But it also happens with estates. It also happens with trusts too. So if you think you're the heir, or you think that you're a beneficiary of a trust, it's always a good idea to kind of track it down to the extent you possibly can. But those things are still available, and it's really on them to come after you.
So is there any time limit as to when it's up? I mean, if you know, your Mima passed away 20 years ago and for some reason maybe you've been overseas or whatever, is there any, I mean, does it run out? Or the fact that it's already in the trust, no matter what, it's
still yours. It's still yours, and it's the job of the trustee. The trustee can't just say, oops, couldn't find them, too bad, unless it says something like that in the trust. Which of course we put in. But if there is leftover money and you can't find the beneficiary, you can still close the estate, you can still close the trust, but what you do is you put that extra money into the unclaimed property fund.
Ah, so then you might hit on that later.
Right, exactly right. So you can still find it, should still be able to find it, and like I say, that's a personal responsibility of the trustee, of the personal representative. They're still liable for that.
That's why it's important to make sure that you've got the right person that is in charge of your trust, too.
You know, that is so important, because lots of times people will put all 3 kids in charge, or, you know, they'll do crazy stuff like that. One of the things that we always do that I don't see other people doing is we always put a corporate trustee in there. So what if I've run out of trustees? Now who's going to run the show? You know, that's the probate court, I guess. That's why we always put a corporate trustee in, and they're very good at ferreting out who the heirs are, that kind of thing. But that's you know, that's one of those things.
Well,
you know,
many questions.
Yeah, we do a lot of that trust administration stuff, and believe me, tracking down the heirs, tracking down the kids, can be very difficult. But one of the things that we do in our process is we make sure we know who all the kids are, get their addresses, get the grandkids, you know, to the extent that we possibly can.
Get some starting base,
That's the thing. And lots of times, you know, people don't know who's in their family, and they don't know. But if we've got that documented up front, well, it gives us, as you say, it gives us a starting point.
If you have someone that is in your trust, if you designate someone that is supposed to get part of your inheritance, and that person passes away, but that person has kids, does that automatically default down, or no?
Actually, no. It depends on what the trust says. Because and that's part of the decision-making process. If one of my kids dies, do I want the grandkids to get it? Do I want the surviving kids to get it? Do I want to give it to the spouse? Those are all questions that you have to figure out as part of the process. Of course, what we're focused on primarily, you know, and one of our slogans is, you know, screw the kids, right? Because, well, it is. Well, because our focus is really on how do we hang on to your money for you? How do we make sure that your assets serve you? And that way, we're always looking out to the future. We're always saying, okay, what happens when you die and there are leftovers? But so often, people who do planning, because of the long-term care issues, they wind up with nothing.
Right, right.
And you did this planning, but it doesn't work because there's nothing for the plan to affect.
Yeah.
So our goal is to say, look, let me make sure that your money, your assets serve you, that your life savings serve you during your lifetime. And if we do that, there'll be leftovers, and then we can go into the, you know, beneficiary hunt into the air
And this
hunt.
is something that you talk about in your workshops as well, because you've got a
Right.
couple of them coming up, right?
We know we do workshops every single week, the good Lord brings, and we're doing them now. We've also got one in Holland coming up. We've got one in Muskegon coming up. If you go to the website, you can sign up right on the website. Drop us an email. Call us.
All right, you guys can find out more information. Call 616-361-8400, or just go online to davidcarrierlaw.com. We put that information on our website on the same way. Hope you have a fabulous day. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.